edition this week. It's been a while that I posted new videos because of I had some few challenges with school and I have to put myself together because the last semester it was my free track. I was just working and I have to go back to school. But I promise you guys from now on, I'm going to do my best and give you guys an update every week, get a new topic, and thumbs up to all my subscribers who have been sending me message trying to know what is going on, and I've not been posting new videos. We have a guest here today. We met suddenly and he was like, I would love to be part of your show and just talk about a specific topic. He's going to introduce himself and we're going to move from there.
Hey, my name is Aaron Bateman. I'm here at BYUI studying computer engineering.
All right, Aaron Bateman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice meeting you, though. Even though I don't know you much, but I believe we're in the same school, trying to pursue education.
Yeah.
And make more money after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get the moolah.
Yeah. So where are you from, original?
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah.
And is there any unique thing you love to tell people about yourself?
About me, so I actually love to write. That's one of my. I'm studying computer engineering, but writing is my thing. So one day I'll hopefully be a published author, but we'll see what happens.
What prompted you to develop the interest to write?
Oh wow. Well, when I was a kid, I guess in my early writing classes, I always had like an extra talent for it, but it was also because it really felt inspiring to be able to say and share things that were special to me in a way that was impactful. And so I've always been trying to find the best way to do that, and writing seems to be.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. More especially, you had this desire of saying things, you want to record it down and change the lives of other people. Yeah. Have you published any write-up, any book, anything that you think is...
I have a blog. It's kind of a cheesy, horrible thing. I started when I was 17. It's called WhenTwoCollide.com. And it started as open letters to the woman I would one day marry, who I haven't met yet.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just kind of morphed into relationship advice.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, then at least viewers, you're able to meet someone that's inspiring and easier to also inspire you guys. And I believe before the end of our discussion today, you guys will get to know him well, the way he thinks, the way he decides, because there are a couple of things we're going to talk about today. And today we're going to talk about two words, and we're going to try to define these two words and see how best we can bring a scenario of which we've been into, or we think people have been into it, and how they were able to get out of it. So we're going to talk about two specific words, and it's like most times people don't realize they are in it sometimes, and sometimes they do realize they find it difficult to come out of it. This is the word compromise against discipline.
Compromise versus discipline. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about compromise versus discipline. But before we go deep into these words, when you hear the word compromise, what comes into your mind? I don't want you to take any dictionary definition in normal life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, compromise can really go one of two directions. One, a lot of people say compromise when they're just honestly giving away things that they want and telling themselves, instead of saying, well, I'm giving up something I want, and even though I really feel like I deserve it, they say, well, I just compromised. And so sometimes people will use it as an excuse to pretend that they're okay with giving up something they want. But I guess more classically, compromise would be just when two people are at an impasse, but they still need to make a decision, and that's your dictionary definition.
Okay, that's cool. So mostly, I also see compromise just like the way you just said, and a scenario of which you can set a standard, like I want to go to bed 8 every day, and then a friend just say, hey, my friend, we have a party, man. Let's go just for today. You just have to. Oh well, I think okay, I'll go for today only because I need to sleep at my time exactly 8. So that's a good scenario, which I believe is you have to compromise your standard of going to bed 8 and just go party till 10 and come home and sleep. I just think that's a good
a good scenario, good example.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess coming back at 10 is still better than 1.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so that's cool. And also, when we look at compromise and self discipline, I now with most of my viewers, they are young people
mm,
and just our age group, and we I've been in this situation wherein I have to decide whether to discipline myself on certain things. More especially, we young people, we face some certain issues. We have the social media stuff, we have the spiritual life, we have the academic life, we have all this aspect around us. And sometimes we have to discipline ourselves to get what we want.
mm.
But influences will not allow us to do that. So, have you ever been in a situation where when you were forced to be disciplined and say no to compromise?
Yeah. Let's see. What's a good where I was forced to choose discipline
And say no to compromise.
and say no to compromise. I mean, many times it's come up to the end of a semester and my grades weren't quite what I wanted.
Okay.
And, people want to go out and party or have fun, and you have to say no. But that's never a fun situation because it always feels like you have to be disciplined because you weren't disciplined in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's usually how that happens for me in regards to school.
Okay.
I haven't always been the most disciplined at school.
Okay. So let's go back. Let's just back to everything. Like when you finish high school,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're going to come to college, right? In that stage in our life, yes, I don't know for you, but for us, like for my background, there's so many things in front of us.
Mm.
Like, should I go to college? Should I just find a job and make some money?
Mm.
So in that case, I think you're gonna walk between discipline and compromise your future. You're gonna discipline yourself. No, I'm gonna wait and go to school for now. I'll still be working and going to school, but after I get my degree, I'm going to make more money.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people that are in that position. They're like, I remember when I was like finishing my high school, my mom was like, "Your dad is late, and I don't think I'll have money to take care of you to go to college." I was like, "Yeah, well, I think I'll go on mission." And then I decided to discipline. I'll go on mission, and after my mission, I think God will make a way, and indeed.
Mm.
After my mission, I disciplined myself. There are a lot of family members who was like telling me, "What will you gain?" My auntie, she's late now. She stays in London, and she was like, "Hey Dominic, you said you want to go on mission, and why can't you just? I can support you." That time she said I would support you. Before she didn't say that, and I said no. I'm not going to compromise my opportunity of going to serve the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to serve God and come back, and then I'll further my life and see what God has for me. And then after, look how far I've come. So in such situation, what do you think we need to do whenever we find ourselves in such situation where it's so hard to decide whether you have to discipline yourself for the future in 5 years' time, you benefit it, or you just make the compromise at that moment? What?
Well, so there's a psychologist on YouTube that's pretty popular. His name is Jordan Peterson. Have you ever heard of him?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Well, so something he says, and I think this is applicable. He says you don't get to not make a sacrifice. So you can sacrifice now and be disciplined and prepare yourself for the future, or you can sacrifice later when you're in your future but you're not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And so really what it is when you want to be disciplined, it really helps to take a look and see, what sacrifice am I making? Can I make the sacrifice now? And if I don't make a sacrifice now, what sacrifice will I make later? And for me, it's like, if I don't get the degree, perhaps I won't be able to have my career that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be forced to work some other career that I may not want. Or I might have to go and find something I do like that doesn't require a degree, which could take a lot of exploring and be very difficult. And so there's a sacrifice whatever you do. And so choosing which one to make is, I think, the core of discipline.
Sweet. I just like the way you just explained it. And it was like something just came into my mind that we young people in nowadays, we're facing so many little things that are pushing us back, and we don't realize it. One of it is social media influence.
Yeah.
Social media influence is really disturbing us, and it's changing our thoughts, making us not to even know the right thing to do with our life.
Yeah.
I think that's an old platform that we need to discipline ourselves and know what to accept and what not to accept.
Right. I've thought a lot about this. So motivation is one of the key factors of discipline. If you just can't find motivation to be disciplined, you're not going to be disciplined. Now, motivation comes from the hormone, or the interneurotransmitter called dopamine. And dopamine is a very interesting one. It also is related to the strengthening of the brain. So anytime your brain releases dopamine, those circuits get stronger. So something makes you happy, you do it, you get better at it. And that's always how it works. Now, the issue is social media. Social media is designed to give you big rushes of dopamine over and over and over again. And so there are many things in life that give these big rushes. Video games, social media, pornography, all of those things are designed to give you hit after hit after hit. And when the hit gets so big for so long, you gain a tolerance to the dopamine. I call it dopamine dragging. You just drag on the dopamine over and over again. And so if we spend too much time on social media, we get used to that, and then we lose the ability to be motivated for simple things. And so really the only solution is to stop dopamine dragging, find all the things with those big hits, and really control how much you use them. And I think that's a core thing, because social media can derail you so easily because of that.
Yeah, you're right. I like the way the brain. So I'll just take it down a little bit. Like the brain is like a whole playground. Whatever you feed, that's what goes around. So like social media has been the most motivating thing that moves the world now. It's good. I don't want you guys to get us wrong. That is not a good thing. You can get a lot of stuff on social media. You can just click on, if you have an homework, you just click on just one word. You have a lot of stuff that will pump up. But I believe we have to use it wisely. We have to don't allow it to control us, more especially to overrule us in a way that we were not able to achieve what we want to do, and make us being in the position of being gullible. You know, I think what advice you can give in conclusion to us young people of how we can control ourselves from the distractions of the world and be able to focus on what we want? Because I know most young people want to achieve better things, be a good wife, be a good husband, and of which your children will be proud of you in the future, of whatever you've left. They will be proud. This was what my dad did. This was what my mom did. So in general, or in conclusion, what will you say to young people in this confusing world of how we can? Because there are some people, I believe, they don't know what is distraction right now. They don't know what is right. They're so confused.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, so from 2020 to 2021, I took a 1-year fast from social media. I gave my brother all of my passwords, and so I didn't even get on, save like once a month when I'd have my brother log me on at his house, you know? And so I just, make sure that there wasn't anything critical. And then I also, during that period, I only took cold showers for 6 months.
Ooh, even in the winter?
Even in the winter.
Wow.
It was
a good discipline.
It was difficult. And I learned some things from that. What's an interesting when you start your day with a cold shower, when you start your day with something disciplined, you find that other things are a lot easier. But I also found that the cold showers, if I was just, I don't want to do this, sometimes there were days where I'd sit for 30 minutes watching the water run, trying to get
to get yourself.
Right. Whereas I found that if I just got in enough that it was on my toes, and then I accepted, and I would have to say within myself, I accept the cold, I accept the challenge. Then I could just walk in, and I practiced being able to breathe calmly, and because normally you go, when the cold water hits. And so really what that experience taught me is sometimes with difficult challenges, things with discipline, it's okay to take it a little bit at a time. And sometimes it's okay to stare at it for a while as long as you don't give in and turn the hot water on,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so, but then the most important and valuable thing with discipline is when instead of fighting against it in our hearts, we can choose to accept it. We say, I accept the cold water in the shower. I accept the homework. I accept. And by becoming a willing participant in the thing that we're choosing to be disciplined in, you gain power over that thing. Instead of feeling like, oh, our homework, which we need to be disciplined about, is a hammer over our heads waiting to crash down. We become the master when we accept it. And I think that is the best way to gain that discipline over all of the issues in our lives that we're struggling with. And if you can't accept it, you can always go and find help, or go find things you can accept and work up from there.
Thank you very much, Aaron, and that was a good conclusion. And I learned just 4 things. 1, you should accept the challenge.
Yes.
Accept that I want to be disciplined with this specific thing, and you should take it easy on yourself. Take it one step at a time, and then as you go to the next step, which is realize that I have made the progress, and I need to go to another step. Okay, and then the last one, this which I learned from you, was that just like when you were talking about the you know what you want, you know what you want to achieve in achieving, like I want to discipline myself in this particular thing. So these are 4 things that I learned from what you just said. They are so important, and I believe we can do it. There are a lot of things we just have to believe in ourselves. So sometimes I always feel like in anything that happens, it's what you want. As long as you are alive, you have life, you have the power to change yourself and to change the world.
Yeah.
It's what you do today that makes tomorrow better, that makes the other day better. So today we're able to talk a little bit about discipline and compromise. We might not be able to exhaust it much because it's such a broad topic, but I believe from the little we've talked today, you can shoot comment, or you want to know more about Aaron. He just said that he has a page, and then you just said your is there a website?
www.when2collide.com. You can also find me on most social media at the handle @Aaron W. Bateman.
All right,
So,
then. All right, Aaron. Nice talking to you. Nice having you guys, and I wish you guys a good time this month. And I expect you guys to like, subscribe, and share.